Hey friend, welcome back to The Word and the Voice, where we talk about the word and I am the voice. We talk about real life stuff that happens, and in this segment, we go between the verses. I'm your host and your homegirl in Christ, Aja Liliana, and today's title is The Blessing in Waiting. All right, so listen, I don't know about you, but waiting on God can be hard, especially when it feels like everyone else is getting blessed and you're just there. You're just sitting there like, Lord, what about me? Why does it feel like everyone else is getting the things that I want? Sometimes that waiting season isn't God punishing you. It's Him preparing you. So let's talk about it, because I know I'm not the only one that felt that way. Sometimes it feels like everyone else is getting blessings while you're stuck waiting. It's easy to feel like God isn't listening, like He's blessing everyone else but ignoring your requests. And trust me when I say I understand you. I've watched people I know get engaged, start families, get married, and God knows that is such a deep desire in my heart. I will start feeling like, this waiting season is starting to last a little too long for my liking. Did you forget about me? But here's the truth. God is a parent. He is our Father. He does not give you more than you can handle. You know the saying, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Yeah, He doesn't give you more than what you can take on. He does not hand you things before you are ready for them, because that isn't love if it sets you up to fail. I had to change my perspective on that. I stopped seeing waiting as punishment and started thanking God for what He was protecting me from, because He was protecting me from a lot of things that I wasn't even ready for. My little impatient self. Think about it like this. Imagine giving the new person at your job the hardest project with no training and only someone with experience could handle. That wouldn't be fair, because you're setting them up for failure. They don't have all the tools that they need. So why would God throw me into something as important as a relationship before I was even ready? See, when it feels like blessings are happening for everyone else, it's not because God's playing favorites. It's because He's still preparing you for what you've prayed for. I used to idolize my desires so bad. I used to put them above God. And I would sit here and lie to myself being like, oh no, I put God first. No. My desires, I was thinking about them before I went to sleep. That was the first thing I thought about when I woke up. When I went on my quote unquote prayer walks, I wasn't praying about nothing. I was really thinking about my desires. And when I didn't get my way, I tried to force things and ended up hurting and later healing from unnecessary wounds had I just waited. But I don't hold those mistakes against myself. But see, those mistakes gave me boundaries, and I do not play about them now. It's very strict over here. I know what I want. I know that if God's not leading my husband, then He cannot lead me, because He's going to lead us somewhere that we both don't need to be. And peep how I said husband, not boyfriend. To my women, let me speak to y'all real quick. Too many of y'all give wife things to men that never planned on committing in the first place. And listen closely, sis. God didn't call you to be a girlfriend. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't think there's anywhere in the Bible that mentions girlfriend. No, He says wife, because a wife gets certain privileges that a girlfriend doesn't. You both form a commitment under God. It's that serious. But anyways, it wasn't until I said and actually believed, Lord, if these things don't happen, I'm okay with it. I literally threw my hands up, dusted my hands off, threw them up. And I finally let go. It means I surrendered my dreams to God and I trusted His plan. See, life got a lot easier when I handed things to God, because that meant it was no longer in my control. It was in His. The responsibility, the ball is in His court. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of responsibility off of me. And when I did surrender my dreams to Him, when I did finally let go, when I did begin to trust Him, peace replaced worry. Doors I didn't even knock on began to open, and blessings began showing up in ways that I could have never imagined. Blessings far better than anything I could have ever forced on my own. Think of Abraham, for example. God asked him to give up the thing that he loved most, his only son. God asked Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. And because Abraham was willing to surrender it, he was willing to trust God's plan, even if it meant giving up his only son, the thing that he loved the most in this world. God blessed his lineage tenfold. Sometimes God asks us to do the same thing, to lay down what we love, to give up what we've dreamed in order to put Him first, to see if we trust Him more than we trust the promise itself. So waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. God isn't withholding anything from you. He wants to give us the desires of our hearts, but he has to know that you won't make an idol of this thing, that you are willing to sacrifice it if it came down to it, that you are willing to trust him. Trust whatever plan it is that he has for you. And I know it's easy to look at those doing better than you, whether they're good or wicked. I used to sit there and ask, God, why do good things happen to bad people? But I'm quickly reminded that their treasures aren't in heaven. See, they won't make it to the kingdom. They won't be able to fellowship with God. They won't live long enough to see the new Jerusalem built. This is all they have. And when I put it into that perspective, I pity them. What a sad life to live, where the only thing good that you got going for you are these superficial, temporary treasures that you only probably get to experience for a good 50 years. So when you find yourself getting envious, remember that this is all they have. Our riches are eternal, and that's such a beautiful thing. So I ask you this: if God were to ask you to lay down the very thing you prayed for, would you? Would you still call him good if the answer was not yet? Or are you only calling him good when he gives you what you want and when you want it? God never forgets his children, ever. He just needs you to wait a little while longer and to have faith and to trust him. Because know this, anything God has ever given me that was out of my plan has always been far better than anything I could have ever imagined. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know when I'm gonna have another video for you guys, but just comment below what resonated with you guys. If there's anything specific that you want to see on my channel, link to all my social medias will be in the description box below. And I love you guys so much. God bless y'all.